Welcome, everybody, to episode 8, issue 8. I think we need to call it issues as opposed to episodes. But it's issue 8 or episode 8, however you want to describe it, of the Grim Gazette. This is a parade of the news of the weird, stuff that strikes my fancy, cryptids, UFOs, and, of course, the paranormal. We look at all that stuff here, and it is a pleasure to bring you another night of weird stuff ripped from the headlines. And yes, everybody, I am T. Morris. You can call me T Monster, or Twitch Dad. I represent Old Spirits Investigations. You can find out more about us on YouTube at oldspiritsinvestigations.com. You can also just find us on YouTube. You look up Old Spirits Investigations, boom, it'll take us straight to us. So where am I starting tonight's Grim Gazette? This one got me very excited, everybody. This story, I'm all about it. NASA gave Voyager 1 a poke amid communication woes. Here's why the response was encouraging. Voyager's 1 mission was extended to 2025, but a communication breakdown in November put it in peril. And you talk about some exciting stuff. The mission of one of NASA's twin Voyager space probes has been in peril for months, as the space agency has been unable to receive usable data from the craft launched 46 years ago to explore the far reaches of the cosmos. But a recent poke sent to Voyager 1 as it travels 15.1 billion, that's billion with a B, billion miles away from Earth, has given engineers a reason for optimism when they received a response earlier in March. Mission Control prodded Voyager 1 and received a new signal March 3rd that they began working furiously to decode days later. By March 10th, the team determined that what they had was a memory readout, which may contain valuable data to allow them to restore regular communications with Voyager 1, NASA said. The 46-year-old pioneering probe has continuously defied expectations for its lifespan as it ventures further into uncharted territory of the cosmos. NASA had hoped Voyager 1's extended mission would allow the spacecraft to beam back valuable data through 2025. But a communications breakdown in November put that in peril. And let's see, Voyager 1 has never ceased sending a steady radio signal to ground control operators on Earth, but that signal had not carried any usable data since November, NASA said. Instead, the probe's telemetry modulation unit began sending a nonsensical repeating patterns of code. The space agency traced the source of the communication breakdown to one of the spacecraft's 3 onboard computers, known as the Flight Data Subsystem, which is responsible for packaging the science and engineering data before it is beamed to Earth. In order to figure out what was going on, Mission Control sent a poke March 1st, commanding Voyager 1's Flight Data Subsystem to run different sequences in case a software corruption was causing the issue. Within 2 days, NASA got the response for which it had hoped. On March 3rd, the Voyager mission team noticed the activity from one section of the Flight Data Subsystem was different from the rest of the computer's unreadable data stream. Because it still wasn't in the format used by Voyager 1 when it's properly sending data, the team was confused. The array of giant radio network antennas known as the Deep Space Network that communicates with both Voyager probes decoded the signal and found that it contained a readout of the subsystem's entire memory, its coding, as well as the science and engineering data it collected. The discovered readout provided an opportunity for the team to analyze it for discrepancies in the code that could have caused the ongoing issue. Using that information to devise a potential solution and attempt to put into action will take time, NASA said. So what is the mission of the NASA Voyager probes? The twin Voyager probes were launched on separate dates in 1977 from Cape Canaveral, Florida, and have since traveled billions of miles away from Earth. In 2012, Voyager 1 became the first spacecraft to reach interstellar space, followed in 2018 by Voyager 2, according to NASA. The probe's main mission is to explore the far reaches of our solar system and beyond. To that end, the spacecrafts have investigated all of the giant planets of our outer solar system: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, as well as the planets' magnetic fields and a combined 48 of their moons, NASA said. I mean, yeah, they got their money's worth out of this probe. It's amazing. But both Voyager 1 and 2 also carry a greeting to any form of life they may encounter called the Golden Record, as you can see right there. And yeah, they even provided instructions apparently on how to build a record player. Rip Pluto. Yeah, I hear you. Famed American astronomer Carl Sagan, pour one out, chaired the committee tasked with selecting the contents of the message contained on a 12-inch gold-plated copper disc. The phonograph records contain aspects that encapsulate life on Earth, such as samples of music from different cultures and eras, natural and man-made sounds from Earth, and electronic information encoded in analog form that an advanced civilization could convert into photographs. In July, Voyager 2 also experienced a communication breakdown with Mission Control when its antenna was inadvertently pointed in the wrong direction. Contact was lost July 21st with Voyager 2 after Mission Control transmitted routine commands that inadvertently triggered a 2-degree change. I'll say that again for the kids in the back. A 2-degree change in the craft's antenna orientation and disrupted the deep space probe's ability to receive commands or transmit data back to Earth. Fortunately, contact was restored in August when NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory sent an interstellar shout that successfully commanded the craft, which is now 12.6 billion miles away, to reorient itself. The story of Voyager just never gets old to me. It never gets old to me. I find it absolutely phenomenal. Next up, a little closer to home, the stupidity never ends. Indian YouTuber Elvish Yadav arrested for allegedly supplying snake venom as a party drug. Elvish Yadav, who has millions of followers online and is also a reality TV star, is detained for allegedly supplying snake venom to be used as a drug at raves. Yeah.
Who's this nut tugger?
Let's find out, shall we? So, Indian YouTuber Elvish Yadav has been arrested for allegedly supplying snake venom to be used as a recreational drug at raves. The influencer, who has 15 million... First off, if you identify yourself as an influencer, it is my opinion you do not have as much influence as you think you do. Elvish. And, this is what happens when you listen to YouTube influencers. Just saying. This is what happens when you listen to influencers. Do you want snake venom, Lana? Because that's how you get snake venom. The influencer, who has 15 million YouTube subscribers, was detained under the Wildlife Act, according to Indian broadcaster NDTV. A party he was at in November was raided on the suspicion that snake venom was being used as a drug by partygoers. Police launched an investigation and questioned 5 people on suspicion of snake smuggling, who named Yadav as the alleged organizer of the parties and snake venom supply. Yadav, who won an Indian version of Big Brother, Big Boss OTT, denied all charges, NDTV reported. He said he would fully cooperate with the police. 9 snakes, including cobras, were recovered from the party, along with 20 milliliters of snake venom, the broadcaster said. Do you think this is against terms of service? Because I think this might be against terms of service. Yadav has now been remanded to 14 days of judicial custody, 4 months after he was first questioned, the Times of India reported. The case came to light after a complaint by animal welfare organization People for Animals, alleging Yadav and others were shooting videos with snakes and snake venom, according to India Today. According to a 2022 research paper in the Journal of Forensic and Legal Medicine, there have been concerns about use of snake venom as a drug. Use of snake venom can often be seen at rave parties, the study said, noting 13 cases of snake venom being used as a recreational substance in India.
Hard no.
Okay. Whew. The things people will do for views, man. I just don't get it. Okay. I'm just going to stick with my ghosts. That's as crazy as it's going to get here. Man's brain tapeworms and worsening migraines caused by undercooked bacon. Scans showed tapewormed eggs festering in the patient's brain, with U.S. researchers warning the case may have wider health implications. So yeah, this kind of cuts close to home and scares me a bit, because bacon, in my opinion, is the perfect food. So let's find out some more about this. Tapeworm eggs found in the brain of a man who suffered severe migraines are believed to have been caused by undercooked bacon. The 52-year-old American consulted doctors after his usual migraines became more frequent and severe and were not responding to medication. Scans revealed a number of tapeworm eggs in his brain. The man was diagnosed with neurocystic icorosis. Cystere. I think, okay. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this word again. Don't you dare, buddy. Don't you freaking dare. With neurocystic. And the next word that comes after it is not even better. So let's try this again. The man was diagnosed with neurocystic caused by tenacis, a form of infection from larval cysts of the pork tapeworm, which can get into tissues such as the muscles and the brain. Researchers say the man had not traveled to any high-risk areas. On further questioning, the patient denied eating raw or street food, but admitted to a habit of eating lightly cooked, non-crispy bacon for most of his life, said the study in the American Journal of Case Reports. Researchers say that they believe the infection was transmitted via autoinfection after improper hand washing after he had contracted tenacis himself from his eating habits. Now, okay, I'll get to my thought in a second. The man's migraines improved when he was given anti-parasitic and anti-inflammatory medication. People at most risk from such infections through poor hand washing or by ingesting contaminated food or water. It is historically very unusual to encounter infected pork in the United States, and our case may have public health implications, the authors said. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention states on its website, although uncommon, cysticercosis can occur in people who have never traveled outside of the United States. For example, a person infected with a tapeworm who does not wash his or her hands might accidentally contaminate food with tapeworm eggs while preparing it for others. So here's the thing. I love me some bacon. I do. I love me some bacon. But I don't like it super crispy. I prefer to have a little give with my bacon, right? Super crispy bacon is like, it's like chewing on very, very crunchy rocks. It's almost like super brittle candy, and I don't care for the texture. And what I tend to do with my bacon anyway is I will take a strip and I will cut it into small pieces, and then I will have it. But I will make sure that it's cooked. I like it. I like it less crispy, but I also prefer it with some give. This story haunts me. The story haunts me. It really does. Okay, I have to look and see what's going on here. Stoned and angry. Okay. Oh, geez. Oh, poor Dorito. He is not happy. I'm gonna silence my phone. Okay. From my baby, from the land down under. This is kind of cool. Stunning hole punch cloud wows Upper North Island. That happened this week. This is pretty cool. This is part of the weird news that I really get into is when science goes wonky. It's great. A fall streak hole or hole punch cloud captured over Kaiwaka. I believe that's how it's pronounced, Kaiwaka. Residents in the upper North Island have been wowed by a stunning cloud formation known as a hole punch cloud. A Kaiwaka resident who saw it said it was a bit scary and looked so bizarre they wondered whether it was nuclear or, wait for it, or
something alien.
We've never seen anything like it before. That's terrible. I'm sorry, Pip. I'm so sorry, Pip. Aucklanders were treated to a stunning cloud formation this morning, a fall streak hole or hole punch cloud. These are triggered when an aircraft passes through a layer of higher level clouds. These clouds are made up of water droplets that are below freezing but are not frozen, known as supercooled water. Okay. They rushed to take photos of the circular hole in the sky and managed to capture it lingering above a country road lined with trees. We're a bit spiritual about nature and nature phenomena. After some research, we found it got something to do with the different air temperatures. Very cool, though. Waiting for life response in 3, 2. Met Service posted on Facebook on Thursday that Aucklanders had been treated to a stunning cloud formation known as a fall streak hole or hole punch cloud. These are triggered when an aircraft passes through a layer of high-level clouds. These clouds are made up of water droplets that are below freezing, below zero degrees Celsius, because we use the metric system here in New Zealand, but are not frozen, known as super cool water, Met Service said. All right. I'll change it up. I'll change it up for you, Mom. I'll change it up. As the aircraft passes through the cloud layer, the disruption of the air around it, similar to the air movement you feel when a truck passes you, disrupts the droplets, causing them to form into raindrops and fall from the cloud layer, bro. This is what gives the appearance of a wispy cloud falling out of the cloud layer. Quick way to get a kicking out of the back of the pub. All right. Woo! Okay. The Met Service post said precipitation like this, which does not reach the ground, is referred to as a virga. People commented on the Facebook post to share their sightings of the cloud formation. One spotted it from a walk up Mount Hobson on Great Barrier Island, while another shared a picture of their neighborhood had taken while out at Omaha Bay. So yeah, neat. That's really kind of cool. It's a neat cloud formation too, and it's created by aircraft. That I find fascinating. Go throw a pillow. Thank you for the story, Pip. I do appreciate it. You know I do, baby. I love you. Okay. Well, that is a story from Pip's homeland. Now one from my home state, which I'm pretty excited to share. Staff at a Virginia Wildlife Center pretend to be red foxes as they cared for an orphan kit. We might actually have to watch this video. Richmond, Virginia. Richmond, Virginia. Employees of the Richmond Wildlife Center in Virginia are doing their best to act like mother foxes as they feed and care for an orphaned kit that found her way into their care. In a video posted to the center's Facebook page on Tuesday, Executive Director Melissa Stanley is shown wearing a red fox mask and rubber gloves while feeding the tiny kit from a syringe. The kit sits on top of a large stuffed animal fox that is supposed to look like her mother, Stanley said. The same Facebook post explained why staff are wearing the mask to feed her, minimizing human sounds, creating visual barriers, and taking other precautions. It's important to make sure that the orphans that are raised in captivity do not become imprinted upon us or habituated to humans, the post said. All those measures made it more likely the kit could be reintroduced into the wild someday. Stanley said in an interview Tuesday that the kit was admitted to the center on February 29th after a man walking his dog found her in an alley in Richmond. Thinking she was a kitten, he turned her over to the Richmond Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. She was less than 24 hours old, and her umbilical stump was still attached. Wildlife Center staff initially tried to locate the kit's mother and her den site so they could reunite them. They found the den site, but were told by the ground superintendent that the foxes had been trapped and removed. Stanley said she suspects the fox kit either fell out of a trap or off the back of the trapper's truck. Staff at the Wildlife Center had been taking turns feeding the kit every 2 to 4 hours, all while wearing the fox mask. In addition to the large stuffed animal meant to mimic the kit's mother, staff also put a smaller stuffed red fox in her enclosure. I'm getting a little choked up. She cuddles up to the... Oh my God! She cuddles up to the smaller stuffed animal at the end of the video. Oh. What does the fox say? Aww. The goal is to release animals back into the wild, not only give them a greater chance of survival, but to recognize their own species and to reproduce, to carry on their wildlife population, Stanley said. To that end, the center immediately began looking for other red fox kits of the same age and weight within the rehabilitation community. Staff located 3 other kits in a rehabilitation center in Northern Virginia. The fox kit will be transferred to the Animal Education and Rescue Organization, which plans to eventually release the kits back into the wild together. We have to watch. We have to watch. Oh yeah, this idiot. Yeah. When people tell me about how, they're just animals. Sometimes humans can be far worse. But let's watch this video. Hold on a minute. I'm just gonna stop the music for a second. I want to watch this. This is gonna be fun. Oh, advertisement.
Medical discovery is like finding the right stone.
Oh my God. Oh my God. The mouth actually works. Oh, this. I mean, it's nature, isn't it? It's the nature, and that's why it's called the wild. But right now, I'm getting a lot of memories of when, I'm getting a lot of memories. I'm flooded with a lot of memories right now of when we first got the kittens, and those wee little beans, those fur balls, man, the fur balls, those little guys, they just. I remember when Pip and I first handled them, we were just like it was. I mean, they could fit in one hand, the kittens, and we were just like be careful. I remember holding my breath as I'm going, be careful, we have to weigh them. And they would let out squeaks like that. And they go, and then Evie would go, but Evie never took a swing at us. She trusted us then. She trusted us. Now, granted, we hadn't turned her into a watermelon like we had now, but there you go. All right, so here we go. Here's another good one. Celebrity psychic Deborah Davies buys creepy doll from Edinburgh charity shop. A picture of Annabelle went viral online after the Ashton Drake Gallery's doll was displayed in the Morningside store with a note saying, "I am not creepy." In the words of my wife, no. I just straight up. Just straight up. No. Yeah. And she named the doll Annabelle, of course. A creepy doll that spooked shoppers after it went on display in an Edinburgh charity shop has been snapped up by a celebrity psychic. Deborah Davies, star of Unexplained, Caught on Camera, which we're going to be looking at tonight, has added Annabelle to her collection of around 60 haunted dolls. Miss Davies paid £220 in total for the toy, which had been sent from St. Columbia's Hospice charity shop in Morningside to her home in Cheshire. The former Real Housewives of Cheshire, oh man. So she's a reality star. She is a self-proclaimed psychic, and on top of all that, she is also on Unexplained, Caught on Camera. Okay, here we go. The former Real Housewives of Cheshire star told Sky News, I'll have CCTV cameras on it 24/7. And for now, I'll keep it at my home, which is breaking my own rules. I keep the rest of my collection a few miles away, as many of them were sent to me by followers following serious poltergeist activity. A picture of Annabelle went viral online after the Ashton Drake Galleries doll was displayed in the store window with a note saying, I am not creepy. Somebody said they felt the doll's eyes were following them. Now, that is an optical illusion that painters at one time were very good at replicating. So that could just be an optical illusion. Simon Varga, St. Columbia's Hospice charity shop member, said a former volunteer donated the doll as she was moving away from Edinburgh. Ms. Varga said when she opened the box, she was taken aback by how lifelike the doll looked. She told Sky News, when I took it out and saw the legs and all that, I was like, these do look like human legs to me. It had the little shoes on, which was quite creepy, and the white bits on the nails. And the feel of it, it's a plastic, but a funny kind of plastic. A rubbery plastic. It went viral after somebody said they felt the doll's eyes were following them when they walked past the shop window, and then that was it. Ms. Vargas said she was delighted Annabelle was going to Mrs. Davies and thanked the TV personality for the generous donation. She said she'll be going to a good home because Deborah obviously collects dolls. That's an amazing donation she's given us. It'll go to the good work of the hospice. There may well be a soul attached to it. Ms. Davies said one of her social media followers alerted her to Annabelle and she believes the doll may have a soul attached to it. Ms. Davies said, as Edinburgh is one of the most haunted places in the UK with a wealth of history, and this doll was causing people to not be able to sleep at night, etc., I fear there may well be a soul attached to it, especially as it was Morningside, which is well documented to be haunted. I personally feel that the soul attached to this doll lost a child that looked very much the same as this doll. I feel it's an old earthbound soul from that area. I mean, I get it. You know, I get it. Creepy dolls, right? Everybody loves a good creepy doll. No, they don't. No, they don't. I did not care. My former mother-in-law had a creepy doll, and I don't mind saying it. It kind of ticked me off how she was like playing up on my fear of the creepy doll. I hated that damn thing. I hated that damn thing. And as far as did I think the doll was possessed? No. Did I think the doll was creepy? Oh, hell yes. I thought the doll was absolutely nuts. I did not care for it at all. Here's the thing, though, about the Annabelle mystique. There are two Annabelles. There is the Annabelle that we know from the film. Okay, there's the Annabelle we know from the Warren Cinematic Universe. And I don't know if you all know this or not, but again, you heard it first here on the Grim Gazette if you didn't hear it before. Annabelle, the original Annabelle, is not what you think it is. Annabelle is not the dirty, gringy, creepy doll that you see from the films. I'm just throwing this out here. This is the real Annabelle doll. Just pulling this up here so that you can see it. Open image, a new tab. This is the actual Annabelle doll. It's a big ass Raggedy Ann doll. And here's the thing that I also have a really tough time with this doll. So first off, one, it has an attachment. They claim, they being the Warrens and the idiots that buy into their shtick, right? It's supposed to be possessed by a demon, correct? One, what demon in their right mind is going to possess a Raggedy Ann doll? Can we just work through the math on that one right there? I mean, you're a demon and you're going,
okay, I've got some options. I can get inside the dog, and I got that jaw, I can walk in there. That'd be cool. Or I could possess the cat. See at night, get the claws, be all acrobatic and shit. That'd be cool, right? Yeah. Or I could go on and possess a Raggedy Ann doll. I mean, think about it. Kids will love me, they'll hug me. I won't be able to do anything because I'm a Raggedy Ann doll. I'll just be like, boom, 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 boom. The more I'm thinking about it, I think that Raggedy Ann doll's gonna be a good plan. I mean, it's not like they're gonna put me in a glass case and then take me on tour, right? Why isn't anybody else laughing?
because that's what they're doing. That's what they're. By the way, thank you, everybody. Thank you. Please, you're too kind. You're too kind. But here's my point, right? You're not only gonna box up this doll, but then you're gonna take it on tour and charge people money to go up and look at it. I'm sorry, but I'm calling shenanigans on. I'm calling serious shenanigans on the original, the OG Annabelle, as it were. I'm just, Now, I will say this, though. I feel I have strong feelings about the Raggedy Ann doll. Robert the doll, however, Robert the doll. Yeah, I've heard some stuff about Robert the doll. Not too keen on Robert the doll. Not too keen on Robert the doll. Yo, how you doing there, Marv? Good to see you in stream. All right, so here we go. This is a 1 minute. This is a 1 minute video that I have been told. I was told I needed to see this. These are the ghost hunters from the Middle East, and yeah, apparently this is how they. I have not seen this. I'm coming at this raw. But yeah, I have not seen this. This is apparently how they hunt for ghosts over in India, Pakistan, in those areas. So let's strap in. Let's see how they do this. This ought to be fun. This is a minute. Here we go.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. انتبه. من علمه إلا. بسم الله. Bismillah.
And that's rude.
Bismillah. 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 الله لا إلا هو الحي. لا يلم من علمه إلا ما شاء. السلام عليكم. الله وما في الأرض. الله أكبر. بسم الله. الله العظيم. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
I feel dirty for laughing at that. But, well, okay then. Well, okay. Okay. What did I just see? Whatever I just saw, I think I'm gonna have to watch that again. I need to process that again. Let's okay, here we go.
Bismillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. انتبه. من علمه إلا. بسم الله. فرائض. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله.
Okay, before anybody says anything about the door going bump, 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 I'm just gonna come out and throw this out there. It could be wind. Could be wind. Could be somebody behind the door just tapping it away. But, okay. I'm just gonna power on through this. This is just 30 seconds in. Just 30 seconds in, everybody.
الله لا إلا هو الحي لا يتم من علمه إلا ما شاء. السلام عليكم. السماوات وما في الأرض. الله أكبر.
Guy is playing Rainbow Six Siege. They're getting their caught on, baby. They're getting their caught on. Oh my God.
الله العظيم. الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
Well, okay.
Hello there.
Hello there. And now I can say that I have seen how ghost hunting is done overseas. It's an education. Now we have another clip. Let's see. Apparently you are okay. So this is what the description says. You aren't the only one hunting on ghosts. Apparently they are gossiping about us too. On Halloween, we took a deep dive into the other world with paranormal investigators Sarbajit Mohanty and Pooja Vijay, and they reveal that all you ever wanted to know about your imaginary friends. Ooh, about your imaginary friends. Well, it's very strong words there. Now I have no idea if this has been dubbed or how this is going to work, but it's 5 minutes. I think we should give it a play. See what happens.
And we are investigating.
Oh no. These guys are talking the Queen's English. So let me but it sounds a little soft, so I'm going to go on ahead and let's give these guys a listen. Let's see what's going on.
Places. The place is very close to the sea, and I do think there can be spirits being triggered by that very factor, considering that they can take energy from there. You know?
It's by fully.
We'll not disturb it. We'll come to it, let it do what it wants to do. Just carry on. We'll come to you.
Completely.
But we have other things to do.
कि अगर यहाँ पे हमारे साथ कोई भी मौजूद है तो आपकी प्रेजेंस हमें फील कराइए.
I'd love to know what this device is he's using, because the sound on it right now is telling me that they're dubbing in the sound. At least that's what it sounds like to me. I don't know, Pip. I found the kicking in doors kind of charming. I gotta admit, I found the doors kicking in kind of charming. I did. Okay.
There's something here.
Yeah.
Niche. Oh my. Look at that. Yes.
You asked.
Okay. First off, bless their cotton socks. But you really shouldn't be putting two devices like that close to each other. I learned this lesson the hard way. But they really needed to. They really shouldn't be doing that. And on top of that too, hopefully this is not part of the initial sweep that they did, because they could be very close to a power source. Kicking in doors. It's like, give me fed pumpkin. I love you, Marv. I love you so much.
for it. If there is
I
someone,
did, yes,
please
I
come
did.
Okay,
My
here we
name
go.
is Sarbajit Mohanty and I'm a professional paranormal investigator.
My name is Pooja Vijay and I'm a professional paranormal investigator and a psychic.
Today I'm here with Tweak India, answering all your questions about my unconventional life. Do people freak out when they get to know about your work? Always it happens. People ask this question and do you chase ghosts or have you ever seen ghosts? And every time we answer it yes, sometimes people leave the conversation and sometimes it is just pin drop silence. There are so many superstitions in India, so many myths in India, and we wanted to do something to remove all of this.
And it's not only the living who need help where paranormal goes, it's also the dead.
Where do you find the maximum number of ghosts though?
Maximum number of ghosts, they are spread all across.
Can you talk to spirits?
So I'm gonna address that. First off, the thing about the questions, that is not far off the mark. I like this guy. I gotta admit, I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. But that is not far off the mark. I still remember at the most recent TwitchCon, I was backstage with Pizza Princess G. Sweetheart G. G is awesome. Bianca's awesome. And then there's her boyfriend, her boyfriend Mike. And Mike is good people. I like Mike a lot. But Mike was like, so you investigate ghosts? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, you believe in ghosts? Yeah. And he's staring at me and goes, do you believe in UFOs? I was like, do I believe in unidentified flying objects or unidentified aerial phenomenon? Yes, and I do believe that maybe there is, I do believe there is life on other planets. Don't know if we've been visited yet, but, anything could happen. And then he leaned in and he said to me, do you believe the election was rigged? I was like, what? That's when I was like, no, I don't believe the election was rigged. No, I don't believe JFK was assassinated by the CIA. And no, I don't believe that the moon landing was faked. And he's just like, oh, okay. And he was like, okay, cool, man. Cool. And that is the bummer thing about being in the paranormal field. People automatically assume that you've got the tinfoil hat and you're all about it. As Marv can attest, I do not have a tinfoil hat. I'm a steampunk author, which means I have a tinfoil ascot. Anyway, on the serious note, yes, there are things that I do believe in. I can honestly say that I do think ghosts exist. I don't know about the afterlife part, but do I think ghosts exist? Yes, because there's stuff that we've caught and stuff that we've experienced that I have to say something is there that we cannot explain. And after ruling everything out, yeah, that's we will make you thank you secondhand. Thank you. But just because I'm studying the paranormal, just because I'm doing this stuff in the paranormal, it does not necessarily mean that I think there's a lizard cabal that is running the government. Since I've worked in the government, I know that is definitely impossible. I also have a real tough time with cryptids. I have a real tough time with the whole Mothman. I have a tough time with Bigfoot. In fact, Pip asked me, seriously, she asked me, if you could pick one cryptid to believe in, what would it be? And I was like, oh, that's an easy one. That's an easy one. She looked at me, she's like, Nessie? And I'm like, Nessie. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Loch Ness Monster. First off, best damn roller coaster on the East Coast. Best damn roller coaster on the East Coast, especially if they have three trains running. Because the cool thing about the Loch Ness Monster roller coaster is, one, it's got a wicked killer dip. And then, secondly, if you've got 3 trains running, they have 2 interlocked loops, one going this way and one going this way. And if you've got 3 trains running, 2 trains will intersect. One will hit one loop, one will hit the other loop. And what's really cool is when you hit the loop and you throw your head back like this, you can see the other car in the other loop. It's boss as hell. I freaking love the Loch Ness Monster roller coaster. But yeah, I love me some Nessie. And we even give Nessie a nod in the young adult series that Pip and I write together. So there's that. So So yeah, I'm all about Nessie, but Loch Ness is big. It's not that big. And I have thoughts about that. But I mean, just because I'm into the paranormal does not necessarily mean that I'm also, I think the election was rigged. Do I think we faked the moon landing? No. I will tell you this. I'm a bigger NASA nerd than I am a paranormal nerd. Okay, let's get back to this.
The maximum number of ghosts.
Maximum number of ghosts, they are spread all across.
Can you talk to spirits?
Yes, there are many people who can sense spirits in various ways, which we call as various psychic abilities. Like we have the clairvoyants who can see spirits, and we have the clairaudience who can hear spirits. Then the clairsentients, like me, who can sense spirits, and the claircognizants who just know if there is a spirit around.
Do spirits gossip? Yes, they do. I remember we were investigating this abandoned location, and we had a team of 4, and one team was investigating one location and the other team was investigating the other location. So when we interchanged it, so एक team जब same location पे फिर से गई, we remember there were spirits who were saying that अरे यार फिर से आ गए ये लोग.
Do you guys have equipments to track?
Okay, that's one I haven't heard. Gossiping ghosts. Okay. Gossiping ghosts. Yeah, I can hear that now.
You see those, a team, old spirits coming here? Pip Valentine? Oh, tall poppy syndrome, anyone? Yeah. I'm an alien author. Ooh, I'm an alien author. Look at me. And now I'm hunting ghosts. You ain't got nothing on me, Australia. When was the last time you saw the bloody snow cup? Huh? Yeah. Girlfriend? You got the tall poppy going on, yo. You got the tall poppy. She liked those cat balls a bit much. Know what I mean? Yeah. She's always handling the cat balls. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna make them all light up, yo.
Sorry. Talking smack about my wife. Oh, my God. I love you, baby. I love you so much.
And she married an American. Oh, I see now. New Zealand boys ain't good enough for Pip Valentine. Woo!
Oh, hey, Bewildered Beast. How you doing, man? Kittens do not appreciate the cat ball talks. No.
We don't care to talk about balls right now, Dad. We don't want to talk about balls right now. I had some nice balls that were dropping, yo. I was gonna ride up. They were gonna see Dorito. There's Dorito. He's balling. He's a little wet and furry. Oh, yeah, he's a little wet and furry. Hello, he's wet and furry.
Anyway, sorry, everybody. I think
you better settle down over there. I'm gonna come talk to you.
Yeah, you're right. I think I do need to settle down. The caffeine's kicking in.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I told you, little effer. I told you we were gonna come for your balls.
Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Just lurking while waiting for a matchmaking in D2. Nice. Just want to say officially, yes, when I log on, the first thing I'm going to be doing on Saturday when I log on for Destiny, I'm going to be getting me that Ghostbusters setup. I don't mind saying it. I'm getting me that Ghostbusters. I'm all on it. Let's go. Okay. Gossiping ghosts. I love it. Okay, let's get back to this.
Spirits and paranormal activities. Yes, we do have equipment.
Tell us about the gear.
Device is called the Ghost Meter Pro. As you can see, it has a needle, some readings, and it blinks whenever we turn it on. But it also blinks when there are ghosts.
This is...
Okay, so what does it do? Is it an EMF reader? Is it a motion? Well, it's not a motion detector. We know that. But okay, that's a temperature gun. I know that.
The temperature gun. Whenever there is a spirit that is trying to manifest, or maybe in simple terms, trying to make its presence felt, there is a drop in temperature because it takes the energy from the surroundings to manifest itself, and that kind of drops the temperature, so we are able to sense that through this.
Then we have the EVP recorder, the electro voice phenomena. Now this small thing records infrasonic and ultrasonic voices that the human ear fails to record.
Okay. It is not necessarily an EVP recorder. It is more about, it is a digital recorder. I really wish paranormal investigators would stop calling these recorders EVP recorders, because they're not. They are just digital recorders. Now, that digital recorder looks like it's about the same level, make and model as an Evastar. It is not an Evastar by any chance, but it is just a simple digital recorder. Now, here's the thing to know about digital recorders. You can pick one up for as cheap as maybe $35, right? And they're fine. They're fine. They're not great, but they're fine. The one that I have the toughest time with, and what I'm noticing now is that I'm noticing that people are now starting to push back on it, which I'm like, it's about freaking time. But the DR66 from Panasonic, you see it on a lot of the ghost shows. It is now a major flex in the paranormal circle. It's basically that the gimmick of it is that you put it on auto record, and when you're silent, it doesn't record, and when something talks, that's the important thing to remember. When something talks, the red light goes off and it records, right? And that's the thing you see where you hear people go, "Did you die in this room?" And then a few seconds later, you hear this. And people are interpreting whatever the hell they want to get out of that. Now, one, a lot of people believe that this DR66 from Panasonic, they say the reason why it is the recorder that it is because since its an initial introduction in the 90s, it was recording voices that were not there, and people were returning them because the only people that could afford these recorders in the 90s were execs, and they just wanted to be able to record their notes, and they had this weird static, which paranormal investigators claim to be voices from beyond the grave. Okay, that never happened. Panasonic has stated, for the record, no, we didn't have mass returns. No, we weren't picking up paranormal voices. No, the reason we discontinued it wasn't because of paranormal contamination. It was because we had a better model come out. So that's the first problem I've got with it, is that Panasonic has come out and said, now, of course, they're saying, well, Panasonic won't admit to it. They're covering it up. Again, we get back to the whole thing about the tinfoil hat and the, faked moon landing, whatever. So that's the first thing. Second thing, you cannot extract the file easily off of a DR66. You can't. Now that one you probably could. But here's the thing: what I see a lot of people doing now on ghost shows is that they'll listen to it in real time. And yeah, it's in real time. It's kind of cool to see that in real time. But as you've seen on here, the best way to listen to that audio is taking it off the recorder and putting it on your computer and then running it through something like Adobe Audition or Audacity or something along those lines. But the DR66 is even worse because you can't do that easily. You have to get a whole bunch of cables, and you literally have to play it back and re-record it on your computer, which is like doing a JPEG of a JPEG. You lose a generation of that. But when you see these people that are getting all these voices and weird static bursts and things like that, the memory that is in that card is non-removable. It's been in there since it's been built. So it has been erased and recorded over again and again and again and again. And this is when artifacts show up. So yeah, not a fan of the DR66, not a fan of these smaller recorders, especially, and this is the next thing you got to know about them, when they play back and you're listening to the recording, most of the time, especially when you're listening to the built-in speaker, that has less audio range than your human ear. And what you want is something with a wide frequency response. And that's why you want to listen with headphones. And yeah, this is my thing. Audio is my thing. Audio is my thing. When I fill a card, I don't erase it and re-record on it. I take out the card, I put it in the archives, I put a fresh new card in, boom. That way you cannot say, well, this was an artifact from another recording. Isn't that how most ghost gadgets are created? No, actually, the way, like for example, Ghost Stop, the way they try to create devices is either with motion in mind or changes in the temperature or changes in EMF. And that's really the big three. And then sometimes they try to find devices that are doing several jobs. Like for example, you've got the Mel meter, which can also be an EMF reader. It can also be a REM pod. It can also be a temperature gauge. Same thing with the flux. Chuck and Simon, they measure motion. They also measure temperature. And then you've got Fast Eddy, the Eddy Plus, and that measures changes in humidity, changes in pressure, changes in temperature. Vibrations, all these different things. Hey, how you doing there, Sly Gamer? And and thank you for the lurk. I do appreciate that. Please drive safely. Thank you very much. And so that's how. And now what they're trying to do, at least what Ghost Stop is trying to do, and I think it's pretty neat, is they're trying to combine trigger objects with scientific devices, and that leads to the spirit candle, which we're gonna try out next month, and I'm pretty excited about that. I'm very excited about that. The ghost meter he mentioned, he said it has a needle, something I can't remember, and it blinks. I wonder what the needle does. Now, the needle, I would say, Cammie, it probably, my guess is the device that he talked about, the ghost meter, is probably an EMF reader. And that's where you want, like when they put the K2 meter and the EMF reader next to each other, well, one, they should have put a little more space between them. That you want to make sure that you're not getting bleed over from one or the other. The second thing about EMF that people have to keep in mind, and again, this goes back to the possible house that we're going to investigate, is before you start really looking for ghosts, you need to do a sweep of the place. And you need to find out, okay, what's the oeuvre. And if I'm wandering around, like let's say for some stupid reason I wanted to do a ghost. Yeah, I know, I saw that too. But what if I wanted to do a sweep of this office with one of my EMF gadgets? Well, one of the things that would be a problem is when I'm getting to this area, I probably would be picking up a lot of EMF. It doesn't mean that my desk is haunted. It means that I've got a lot of electronic equipment around here. And especially in old buildings and old houses, sometimes you might find like this one, like a wall or part of the floor, suddenly it just lights up with EMF. It's saying, oh, there's something here, there's something here. And then you go, well, wait a minute. And then you go underneath the floor and you find out there's all this wiring, exposed wiring and stuff like that. And it's putting out a lot of EMF. And if you live with that, and the ghost hunters were the first ones to really bring this up to people's attention, is look, when it comes to the paranormal, if people are getting, weird paranormal feelings, or paranoid feelings that they're being watched or that something's in the room with them or they're feeling nauseous or something like that, 9 times out of 10, it's bad wiring. So that'd be something we need to know about that house before we actually did a full-on private investigation of it. So there's that. But I wish they would stop calling them EVP recorders. They're just audio recorders. And what EVP is, apart from being our cat, is EVP is a phenomenon. And he did get that right. It's an electronic voice phenomenon. And what that means is that you have a recording and you don't hear anything. You don't hear a damn thing. And then when you go back to play the message, suddenly you hear something. You hear something that's there. Would a power outlet in the wall create an EMF? If it's not wired properly, yes. A lamp would do it. Exposed wiring can do it. So, you just have to, and when I say exposed wiring, I don't necessarily mean wiring like the stuff that I have from my microphones or anything like that, because all that stuff is shielded. But let's say I was getting like super cheap cables, right? If I was getting super cheap cables for all my computer gear and my audio gear, yeah, it's not going to be shielded as well, and that's not only going to create EMF. It could also create interference that bleeds over into my recordings. Early phones were massive culprits of this. Oh, wait a minute. I think we're going to be putting the kittens in a bathroom. They're losing their mind in the room. Oh, okay, that's bad. All right, good to know. Okay, but yeah, but they're not specifically EVP recorders. They're just digital audio recorders. Yes, a frayed cable and definitely an exposed wire. Yes, exactly, Cammie.
So it is believed that the spirits or the spiritual entities that talk in those particular frequencies, so this device records all of them.
And this is sage. Now, this is used at the end of the investigation.
Yes.
This kills like almost 94% of the airborne bacteria, and the smoke that this emits when this is burnt, it really cleanses the surroundings. So yeah, this is the sage.
How do your friends react when you tell them or you do?
We don't have friends anymore.
Oh, that's cold, man. I like this guy. I do like this guy, but that's cold, man. That's cold.
We just hang out with ghosts.
Just a final spike? Just as a yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
क्यों हो आप यहाँ पे? रीजन क्या है? ये आपका घर है? यहाँ पे आप रहते थे पहले?
Now that's something I find fascinating that I want to do a little more exploring in. Like, for example, I would very much love to have an opportunity to go on a paranormal investigation in Germany. I would love to do that because I want to find out. I want to find out if I'm basically saying, so, are you here with us right now? Can you talk to us? I would want to know if the EVPs, if the voices that I pick up overseas actually speak in a different language. Because I always found that odd that Ghost Hunters International would go to places overseas, go somewhere other than the United States, and it was like Star Trek. Everybody spoke English. And I'm like, I'm not buying that. Oh, why do you come here? Is that what he said, Bewilder? Is that what he said? Everybody said 4X. Watch it, 4X. Watch it, 4X. That's a very American thing to say, man. Very American thing to say. That's cool. I was wondering about that. Why did you come here? Did you used to live here? Okay. Now the only thing is, I feel like the sound of the device sounds a little too clean in my headset. I'm there one way, and there one way. You're killing me, man. You're killing me. But I'd like to know more about this guy's ghost meter. I'd love to know how it works. I want to know what is it really picking up. You know what I mean? Everybody speaks a language. Everybody looks good in a cowboy hat. Okay, hang on.
हाँ या नहीं? अभी नहीं. क्या करना है ना? अगर ये हाँ है.
Okay, I'm actually going to back this up so the Bewildered Beast can hit me onto what he's saying.
क्या है? ये आपका घर है. यहाँ पे आप रहते थे पहले. हाँ या नहीं? अभी नहीं. क्या करना है ना? अगर ये हाँ है तो 2 बार चाहिए. अगर ना है तो 1 बार चाहिए. ये आपका घर है. Okay.
आपका घर है ये.
आपको पता है कि आप मर चुके हो? नहीं? पता है
You
आपको.
know it. So is that you who's doing that? आप please एक और बार करिए. Thank you.
एक और बार मिल
Thank
गया.
you, thank you, thank you.
We are in Mumbai.
Ghosts have Google Translate. Now that I bet would be interesting. It would be Google, yeah. Google. That's very good. I like that. Well done, 4X. Well done. I appreciate that. Nice. Very nice. It is neat to see its inner workings, but again, it's one thing for the device to look cool. I would like for it to actually do something. Oh, okay, Ekbot. So if you're here, if you're, yeah. It's supposedly probably it's probably reading EMF. 9 times out of 10, it's probably reading EMF. That is the most common thing I've noticed with a lot of ghost gadgets. And of all the different ghost gadgets that are out there, I'm partial to the Flux 2 because it is really a very easy. It's an easy device to figure out, and it's just a nice open entry point because it's real simple. Red light, green light. And you can assign anything you want to those red light, green lights. And if something gets close to it, bing. If the temperature changes, bing, you get a reaction. And the other thing that I tend to, and like I said, when I launch this new podcast in the summer, it's going to be something I'll throw out to Pamela, which is one of the things that about the science of our gear, of all the gear, is you'll take it to one place and it will be popping and locking. But then you'll go someplace else. And the one device that was going off, like, you were having a full conversation with somebody with a Flux, it won't go off at all. And, I've always been of the mindset of, okay, well, if it was rigged to go off, in intervals and things like that, my question is, why isn't it doing it? And it's the same thing with GhostTube. GhostTube is an interesting, again, nice entry point app that I find trustworthy because at one time we were at Cannon Branch, and Pip had injured herself, and this was the only time this ever happened with GhostTube. Pip was walking around, and GhostTube said repeatedly, "Sit down." Said it 3 times, and when she finally did take a load off her feet, because she was walking around with a cane, it got sit down 3 times, and then it stopped. It stopped after Pip took a seat. I thought that was interesting. Another really interesting thing that happened too was when it was a week that Pip lost her mom. And I asked her, I said, "Are you going to be okay coming with us to the public event that we're doing at Linville Manor?" She's like, "Yeah, of course." So we get there and we're chatting away with Wynn, and we're hanging out in Linville, and everything's cool. And then GhostTube out of the blue says, "How do you feel?" And this was like our 3rd or 4th visit, so they knew us. Whatever is at Linville Manor, it knows us. Indian Amazon shows tachometers or tachometers. I love a good tachometer, man. And EMF readers. Got it. Okay, yeah. So I'm trying to remember what tachometers. Why wouldn't they? Exactly secondhand. I said I think the same thing. Why wouldn't they love Pip? But it was a very sweet little thing to have that device say, "How do you feel?" And it made me and Tina take a step back, go, "Whoa, did that just happen?" Again, is that irrefutable proof? Probably not. But it is something to take note of. And I guess one of the questions I'm going to be throwing out to Dr. Pamela Gay when we settle in for this is, when is it refutable? When is it irrefutable? Because there's a fine line between a proven outcome and coincidence. And I really do believe that. I really do believe that. Okay, so we're going to wrap up part 1 of the Grim Gazette, and we're now going to segue over to part 2. And part 2, yes, it is pretty darn convincing. Yes, it is. We're going to segue on over to part 2, where we do a deep dive debunk, or we do something where I want to talk about something I saw on another show. And I'm actually bringing up right now I think it's called, what is this show called again? It is called Unexplained Caught on Camera. And we're gonna take a closer look at what this show has to offer. If it doesn't really go anywhere anytime soon, then I will say, okay, let's segue into something else, and then we'll take a look at the Bird Theater, and I'm going to show you how the sausage is made with a show that we are planning for season 3 of Old Spirits, where I talk about here's how we put together the opening, because it turns out there is a method to the madness when you watch the opening of things like that. Sausage pog. I don't know if I'd call it sausage pog by, but you know, we'll roll with it. All right, everybody, let's just take a quick break. If you haven't taken your meds, please take your meds. If you haven't stretched your hammies, go on ahead and give your legs a stretch, give your arms a stretch. Get some hydration. I'm about out of soda, but I also need to. Oh, geez, I have to put the top on because this still had water in it. I thought it was empty. Now I'm spritzed. I'm pleasantly spritzed. But anyway, go on ahead and take a break, and when we get back, we will jump into part 2 of the Grim Gazette. So sit tight, everybody. I'll see you soon.